What's the deal, pickles? Alrighty, I have already got a couple of direct messages that people don't always like the vertical, and I apologize, but I have decided that moving forward is going to be the name of the game first. So, with that said, I am chillaxing in the living room. And if you want to see some of my, technically it's an unboxing, but the box is already gone. I'm going to show you some new books that I just got in. And it's going to be real quick. We're going to be in and out. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into this. So if you're new around here, my name is Dana. And of essenceofme.com, which we're still updating. But in my job, my business, I am a book coach. So I read a lot of books, a lot of books. And I've done some book talk books on my channel. And I'm pretty sure I have more coming. But I wanted to show what books I picked up because Amazon had one of their, whatever days it was, like one of their Prime days. And so I got a couple of books that I had in my cart, plus another one. So with that said, here is what we have. So the first book that I have, and I wish I knew, okay, is book 2 and 3 from the Knock 'Em Out series. And I've already read these books. Lucy Score and Bloom Books have already got my coins. I have the audiobook, ebook, as well as now the paperback. They had these at almost a 50% off, which I was going to get them anyway. So I was like, done deal. These books are, well, book 1, things we never got over. I believe that's the title of it. It's one of my favorite books. And it's actually a book that I use a lot with students. And in my book club with my clients, we're reading this series. So this was just a win. So so this is book 2, Things We Hide from the Light. And let's see. So it says, Police Chief Nash Morgan is known for 2 things: being a good guy and the way his uniform accentuates his butt. 2 booklets put a dent in that southern charm, but thankfully spared his spectacular rear end. He's got his hands full with the man who shot him still on the loose, healing wounds, and citizens that think of the law as more of a guideline. Through, wait. Through in the gloomy mood. Oh, throw. Okay, I was like, what is this? I'm sorry, y'all. I was looking and trying to see if it had her name and trying to see if I remembered her name. Let me keep going. I'm sorry. I apologize. Let me start over. 2 bullets put a dent in that southern charm, but thankfully spared his spectacular rear end. He's got his hands full with the man who shot him still on the loose, healing wounds, and citizens that think of the law as more of a guideline. Throw in the gloomy mood that clings to him, and the last thing he needs is a smart mouth, gorgeous new neighbor, making him feel things he doesn't have the energy to feel. Lena Salvavita, y'all, I'm butchering that up. My apologies. Has her reasons for being in town. She's on a mission, and the fewer people that find out about it, the better. She does her best work alone, and as soon as she finds what she's after, she's hitting the road for the next solo adventure. Too bad the town of Knock 'Em Out has other ideas. Soon, Lena finds herself sucked into small town life, dog sitting, saying yes to a bridesmaid dress, listening to the sexy AF chief of police service himself in the shower. But when Nash finds out why she's there, flirty friends become furious enemies. The sparks flying don't know the difference between lust and hate. When danger forces them together, it's only a matter of time before they both get burned. And so this is book 2. And book 1 is Things We Never Got Over. So this is book 2. This is book 3 in the series, and the last book, unless she decides to extend it, but this is the last book in the series. There was only one woman who could set me free, but I would rather set myself on fire than ask Sloan Walton for anything. Lucian Rollins is a lean, mean, vengeance-seeking mogul. On a quest to erase his abusive father's mark on the family name, he spends every waking minute pulling strings and building his empire. The more money and power he gains, the safer he feels, except when it comes to one feisty small town librarian. Bonded by an old dark secret from the past and their current mutual disdain, Sloan Walton trusts Lucian about as far as she can throw his designer-suited body. When bickering accidentally turns to foreplay, the flames are fanned and it's impossible to put them out again. But with Sloan more than ready to start a family and Lucian refusing to even consider the idea of marriage and kids, these enemies to lovers are stuck at an impasse until Lucian learns the hard way that leaving Sloan is impossible. The very least he can do is keep her safe. And that is book 3. If you have not read this series, I find that this series sort of goes from like rom-com-y feel to the Lucian one, that I feel like it feels a little bit more like Knocking on Dark Romance. And book 2, Nash's story to me feels a lot more angsty because of what he's dealing with, where it's healing, basically borderline depression. They are steamy. This one is steamier, and they get steamier as you go into the series. So this one is probably the steamiest of the trio, but great series. And they are door stoppers. The last one that I have is Deacon King Kong by James McBride. And okay, so this one was, those I'd already read a million times because I'm a Lucy Score fan. And this one was recommended by someone at church. Okay, the funny, I'm going to skip the marketing copy. Okay. In September 1969, an old church deacon known as Sport Coat shuffles into the courtyard of the Causeway Housing Projects in South Brooklyn, pulls a .38 from his pocket, and in front of everyone shoots the project's drug dealer at point blank range. Hard pause. That's when I knew I wanted to buy this book. Okay, let me keep going. Because the first thing I thought about was New Jack City. And which one was it? Shafts with Samuel L. Jackson. Okay. Basically people taking the law into their own hands and killing like a major drug kingpin to save their neighborhood. Well, I guess Shaft wasn't the reason why, but it just made me think of those two. Let's keep going. The reasons for this burst of violence and the consequences that spring from it are at the heart of Deacon King Kong. McBride brings to vivid life the people affected by the shooting, the victim, the African-American and Latinx residents who witnessed it, the local cops assigned to investigate, the members of the Five Ends Baptist Church, where Sport Coat was deacon, the neighborhood's Italian mobsters, and Sport Coat himself. Drawing from both his masterly storytelling skills and his abiding faith in humanity, James McBride has written a novel that's as involving as The Good Lord Bird and as emotionally honest as The color of water, and that demonstrates the love and faith live in all of us. That love and faith live in all of us. So here you go. I'm going to admit, I've never read a James McBride book. I, by default, am a romance reader. I do read in other genres like thriller, fantasy. I just have never read a James McBride book. I was familiar with them, but I haven't. So I'm looking forward to reading this. And I really think that first little part was pretty much the only real part of the blurb. And so, yeah, I don't know when I'm going to start this. I'm already reading this, but I wanted to get it since I was already ordering those and go ahead and put this in. Now, before I close out, I'm going to show you what I'm reading now. Let me grab it. And I can't remember if I showed this one in an unboxing. I think I did, but I'm not sure. And so this is what I'm reading right now. Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. Let's see. And this will be the last book. California's Gold Country, 1850. A time when men sold their souls for a bag of gold and women sold their bodies for a place to sleep. Angel expects nothing from men but betrayal. Sold into prostitution as a child, she survives by keeping her hatred alive. And what she hates most are the men who use her, leaving her empty and dead inside. Then she meets Michael Jose, a man who seeks his father's, capital F, heart in everything. Michael obeys God's call to marry Angel and to love her unconditionally. Slowly, day by day, he defies Angel's every bitter expectation until, despite her resistance, her frozen heart begins to thaw. But with her unexpected softening comes overwhelming feelings of unworthiness and fear. And so Angel runs back to the darkness, away from her husband's pursuing love, terrified of the truth she no longer can deny. Her final healing must come from the one, capital O, who loves her even more than Michael does, the one who will never let her go. A powerful retelling of the story of Gomer and Hosea. Redeeming Love is a life-changing story of God's unconditional, redemptive, and all-consuming love. And so that's this book. I'm reading this now. I'm probably listen, I started reading this, and this is one of those books, because it's not like for a client project or it's not for work, that I just have to squeeze it in. And these chapters are like 50 pages long. And I'm just like, no, the prologue is 44 pages long. Now listen, I love to read, but what I love is like probably about 10 pages or so, 10 to 15 pages, so I can read it, and then I know that I'm getting a chapter done to slowly read through ones that are like more of my personal reads. So I'm just going to have to suck it up, because so far it's good and I'm really enjoying it. And so that is what I have. If you have any questions about any of these books, definitely let me know in the comments, and let me know in the comments, what are you reading? And do you have any reading recommendations? If you read any of these books, definitely let me know what your thoughts were. Don't be giving me no spoilers, but let me know what your thoughts are. And if you have any questions about them, I will try my absolute best to come back with a review, because I do want to start talking about the books, because y'all, I normally, they're in my book club books I read, we talk about them every month, but I really like talking about the differences and comparing and contrasting, and because I just do a lot of reading and I just enjoy it. So with that said, your girl is out. Have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in the comments, and I'll see you all hopefully sooner than later. Take care and goodbye.